Yes, let's change it up a little bit. I attended a public hearing this morning regarding a bill called HCR 10 that was introduced to the New Hampshire State Federal Relations and Veterans Affairs Board. This concurrent resolution applies to the Congress of the United States to call for a convention under Article 5 of the United States Constitution to have a constitutional convention. I not only would like the speakers to think about this issue and reply, but the audience as well. What are we going to do about our Constitution?
You know, in history, there are very few times in history where there has been, almost out of nowhere, I would say semi-miraculous events. Greece in the 5th century BC, out of nowhere. Pericles, Socrates, Aristophanes, theater, philosophy, all congregates together, and nobody knows what was there before, and there has not been a whole lot after. Elizabethan England, Germany in the 19th century, philosophy, music. I think the American founding is one such moment. A remarkable group of people with deep insight came together, and they gave us a formula for wealth creation. And it is no rebuttal to say we're living 200 years later. It's because the principles of the founding are as relevant today as they ever were. So what do we do? It terrifies me to think that, for example, we can have a constitutional convention now and have a group of comparable wisdom. Basically, you can say update the founding. More likely, we don't need to redo the founding. What we need to do is live by the principles of the founding.
Hi, my name is Adam Hahn. I'm the head of the Atheist Humanist Agnostics on campus here. One quick comment was easily I can name the evangelical groups on campus outweigh both the secularist groups as well as the LGBTQ groups. I mean, just in one of them, they probably outnumber all of us. So the idea that there's less of them and they're a persecuted minority, I just think is absolutely unfounded.
Remember I said faculty.
Faculty, of course, and the question though that I have is, you were talking a little bit about the eroding of religion, politics, modern day thought, giving us things like slavery, get rid of the things like slavery as well as giving us women's rights. Do we need to further go along this process of erosion of religious priorities as well as governmental priorities within that in order to make it better? Or
see, these debates make no sense if you don't talk in somewhat specific terms. My argument would be that we have interpreted the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment about religion in such a way as to make religious believers, in effect, into second-class citizens. And here's what I mean. Let's say tomorrow somebody were to say, let's put a statue of Voltaire right next to the U.S. Capitol. There's a procedure for that to happen. People would debate the legacy of Voltaire. One question would be, how much influence has he had on America? Has he made a real difference? Do we really admire him? The debate would be completely on the merits. Voltaire yes or Voltaire no. On the other hand, if someone said, let's put a statue of Moses on the U.S. Capitol, people would say, you can't do that. It violates the First Amendment. Now, Moses has had actually far more influence on our society, our culture, our laws, our history, our Constitution than has Voltaire. But the point is it would not even be debated, because Moses would be tossed out without consideration as somebody whose very name violates the First Amendment. And I'm saying this is discriminatory against believers.
I think that's nuts.